these beautiful beings. Welcome, Doc. Hi, Melissa. How are you? Good to see you here. And thank you for subscribing. And also thank you for subscribing, Doc. I'm well, Sarah. How are you feeling today? Ooh, Elena in the house. Hey, sweetie. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling well. Thanks, Doc. Hi, Nadia. How are you feeling? I'm happy to be here, Melissa. We'll give it a little bit here. Let people kind of stream in. But for those that are here already, that are quick, hi, Catherine. If you are interested in receiving a personalized transmissions, we're opening that up today. So you would send a minimum donation today of $55 to receive a personalized transmission, and it includes a number of things. So it's going to include a clearing, an automated clearing that takes place over the next few days, or most of it's going to be done in the next couple of days. It helps clear out the meridians, whole bunch of stuff, and it could be just the healing all of itself that can last around 7 days, or it can continue over 7 days. We'll establish some energetic structures, so a personalized shield for you, a shield if you want to call it that, different structures that help hold in what's appropriate for you and keep what's not out. And in this particular set of structures, it actually assists in bioregenesis. So in these structures alone is going to allow your body, your structures to start to heal themselves and start reclaiming your architecture. So those, we do an automated Lemurian healing. So you can use whatever intention you'd like towards that. And it's just another one of those automated processes. It's kind of like a code, like a spell almost, if you will, like a program, a script that runs. We do some clearing. We plug in a set of more than 16 different healing frequencies. So we plug that in and we have that run for a while. So you get all sorts of good stuff, like there's frequencies in it for self-love and perfect health, confidence and willpower, determination. I'm not sure if determination's in there. Energy, calmness. It's got diamond, dolphin, dragon, angel frequencies, awareness, unity, consciousness, abundance, all sorts of stuff. So we'll plug that in. What else do? We work with your column of light. So we do a bit of a clearing, healing of your column of light. So working with the transmission centers, which aren't exactly the same as the energy centers. So we fire those up. We work all the way up to the alpha transmission center and down to the omega. What else do we do? We do a number of things like that. And then we jump into just personally doing a personal transmission for you. So channeling what wants to come through as far as healing, activations, upgrades, or any combination of that. It's usually a combination. And then we do a grounding code at the end as well to help ground into a higher density. So it's more than just a transmission. It's a healing and whatever is designed for you to come through, whatever that looks like. So if you're interested in that, let me know, or you can just submit a donation. 1 second, let me turn something on real quick so I make sure I see these. Might freeze. Might be back here in a second. All right, we got Elizabeth first. And we have limited spots as well, so if you're interested, it's best to get it in quick. And I'm also going to be posting these on YouTube after, so you can go back to your transmission and play it again and again. I'm going to set it for 5 people, but if I'm feeling well, I'll do some more. This might help a little bit. Oops. Kind of get an idea of what's going on here. Is it real? Yeah. You know, what is real, right? So we got Elizabeth first. It's best to be experienced. Yeah, so if you are interested, you just can go to the link in my bio. And if for some reason the link in my bio doesn't work, you can just go to ty-el.com and that'll bring up my link tree. And then you just submit a donation to, I've got PayPal, I got Venmo and Cash App. I prefer PayPal because it's already set as a donation. But yeah, if you have any trouble, let me know. I got you, Elizabeth. Perfect. So yeah, you'll be up first. So then I can move that aside, or I can move aside. If if you're interested. A lot comes through in these transmissions. It's pretty much like a miniature session, honestly. A lot can come through. And I don't really decide. It's not like, oh, I think you should have this or you shouldn't have this. It's really facilitated by your higher consciousness. So your higher self is really guiding me through the process. So if there's priority healing that needs to come through, we may focus on that. Maybe it's certain programs associated with different energy centers. We could be working on a specific energy center. But there's a whole number of things that can come through when we do it. But yeah. Do others feel it as well? Yeah, great question. Yes. So that's why I do it in this live setting, is because there's always energetic spillover. So and I've had people have very profound healings through other people receiving healing. So that's why we do it in this way. And it's a way for people to just kind of tune in and see if this is something they're interested in, or, but regardless, there's healing and energies that are available to everybody if, it's in alignment for their highest good to receive. Hi, Helena. I'm Misty. It's a minimum donation of $55 today. Sometimes I change the donation amount, but just because based on the energy available today, that's where we're at. And I do scheduled ones too. So I'll set a time, and then through my Linktree you can reserve a slot. So it'll give it a week or so ahead of time, and then those are also posted on YouTube. So if you can't make it to the live transmission, you can always go back to the replay. And even if you do receive a transmission, you can go to the replay, and you receive benefits again and again. Don't worry, Bobby. This is just a special thing. So I would recommend to just hang out and be open to receive, because lots comes through. Otherwise, I wouldn't do it in this way. Do I only have one page on here? Butter Lily, this is my primary account, and then I have more of a video log that I don't use too much, and that's I am Ty L. So there's been some scammers that have been pretending to be me in there, not cool, but. Oh, awesome. Bodhi's amazing. Thank you for subscribing, Cody Williams. Yeah, thank you so much for the subscriptions. And also, when I do the transmissions, I'm going to be setting it to subscriber-only chat while I do it. That doesn't mean that it kicks anybody else out, but that way it just helps to manage the energy of the room a little bit better. So if you're interested in sharing an energy exchange in that way, that's a great way to do it, and there's some benefits as well. So I will receive personalized, gosh, I've lost my train of thought. I can't read and think at the same time. It popped up. So clearly it popped up personalized, what was it? But oh yeah, if you're a subscriber, then some nights I will get intentions for group healing and other activations. Could be upgrades, whatever comes through, whatever you want to throw out there, and then we have a pendulum pick which intention to do, and we do a number of those. What can I do to contribute spiritually? Be you. That's all you got to do. That's it. It's easy. It's just we have a lot of attachment to what we think we should be doing or what it means or anything like that. So yeah, don't worry about it. Enlighten up a little bit on yourself. And thank you. Where'd it go? Thank you, Kirsten. Thank you so much for subscribing. I'll just give a couple more minutes, and then if nobody else is interested, we'll just do a transmission for you, Elizabeth, and maybe we'll check in another time. I just kind of jumped on to see if it'd be something we want to do. Thank you, Kirsten. But yeah, does anybody have any questions or anything? I know it's a Saturday. I'm sure there's not going to be a ton of people on. Having some trouble getting on my Linktree. I don't understand why that's happening. I'm so sorry I think that's been a huge issue. Thank you. I think a lot of people have expressed that to me. So why isn't Linktree working? That's driving me insane. I even reached out to them. That makes a lot of sense why things are messed up. I don't know how to fix it though. So you just go to ty-el.com. I'm sorry to make you do that in your browser or whatever. But if you have Venmo, my username on there is the same as mine on here, Ty L Heals. But yeah, I don't understand. Yeah, stick around, Smurfy. There's no need to donate. Just stick around. There's lots of good energy. So yeah, not a pressure at all. It's just a special thing if you want something personally encoded just for you. So we're working directly with your higher consciousness to bring through. We call it light language, Harp Lady. Yeah, so go to, can somebody type that out? The website, it says in my link tree, or in my bio link stuff, whatever, it says to go to ty-el.com if that's not working. I don't know why though. Oh no, so oftentimes the skin's about relationships. And it can vary what's going on. I mean, it can be a number of other, yeah, I'm not gonna try to say what it's from, but the emotional sources oftentimes are relationships from a metaphysical, psychosomatic aspect. If you shoot me an email, I can send you an entry from my book here, Metaphysical Anatomy. Debbie, you did? Okay. Maybe it hasn't come in here, but I'll put you down just to make sure. Oh, okay. Okay, now I got Misty. Okay, so I got you Misty. I'll just check here in a second, Debbie, to make sure that I received that. Yeah, I don't understand why it's not working though. I got you, Misty. Thank you. I'll double check again here in a second for you, Debbie, but I got you on the list anyway, just in case. Yeah, I don't know why it's being a turd. So I'm not sure what to do about that. I need to fix that big time. Yeah, I'm trying to think what's the best way other than making people, oh, we get you, Melissa? Okay. I'll put you on there. There's something going on clearly. So I'm just gonna turn this off for now, just because I wanna make sure I reconcile this. I don't know why everything's being glitchy lately, man. I apologize. All right, let's see. It's called Metaphysical Anatomy. Your body is speaking. Are you listening? One second here. I'm going to AFK real quick. I'm not going to turn off the phone just because I don't want to lose anybody. So 1 second. Okay, so we got Melissa. Okay, we got it. I think our list is full here. So I just wanted to make sure. So I got Amanda, I got you. Got Debbie, Amanda, Melissa. Okay, I think we got it here. Now, if you did donate and I don't call your name, please let me know and I will make sure that we get it figured out. But for now, we're going to go ahead and close the list just because I don't want it to get any more confusing. Why we're having these dang glitches going on. Yeah, so for now, the list is closed. Hey, Vin, how are you? I may open it up again, but I just want to make sure I don't mess anything up here. And if for some reason you feel like you got missed or something like that, please reach out to me. Please reach out to me. We'll make sure that we get you set up and we'll get you hooked up, or we'll reconcile it, whatever does take place. So right now, the order that I've got Debbie, I've got Elizabeth first, and then I've got Debbie, and then I've got Misty, then I've got Melissa, and then I've got Amanda. Karen, I didn't. Which way did you send it, Karen? I'll put you on here though, just to make sure, so I can double check. PayPal. Okay, well, I'll just go ahead. We put you on the list here, Karen. Just double check. Yeah, it's not showing, but sometimes there's some issues. So I'll trust that we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. I trust that we'll get it figured out. So no worries. We got you on the list, Karen. I like 6 anyway. 6 is a good number. Let's All right. Okay, yeah, I'll check it out, Karen. We'll make sure we get you hooked up. I'll send you a message if not, and we'll figure it out. No worries. So first up, just a reminder. Oh, well, look at this. We've got Elena helping out. You're amazing. Moderator's the best. And then also Karen as well, and Elena. Thank you. All right, so I'm just going to do a quick recap on all that's taking place when we do this work here. So what we are going to be doing is personalized transmissions. Now, just because we're personally encoding this for a specific person one at a time, doesn't mean that there's not spillover for everyone. That's why we do it in this public space, is because there's energetic spillover and people can have profound experiences, because it's like having music playing, right? Even though it's like I'm writing and performing a healing song for one specific person in the room. We're all in the room though, and other people can hear that music, right? And can choose to have an emotional response, choose to dance to it, choose to heal to it, use that information, that data, those codes on themselves. And it assists even more with your intentions. So holding the intentions that you would like to receive for your highest good. This is quantum work. That's why it's such a powerful tool, because it can affect things on so many different levels and angles, and it's always you that's being stimulated. So that's why we do in this public space. I'm going to start by doing a clearing for everybody that's open to receive. So it's an automated process. This is for everybody, which will go on. It helps to clear meridians, it vortexes stuff out, brings stuff in. It's unique for each person and each time we do it, but it's a really powerful tool all of itself. So we do that for everybody. Then we're going to establish some energetic structures for everybody, especially those that are on the list. And these are going to help to support bioregenesis. So you're going to be keeping in what is right for you, authentically what your signature frequency is, and keeping out what is not right for you, right? And in that, you start your structures start to heal themselves in that state. And so the way that we're doing it, we are essentially intending for those structures to last a few days. Everybody's a little bit different, but the way that I set up my structures, they usually last a little bit longer. So we're trying to give you some space as you integrate and continue to heal, because this is just a triggering. As what we're doing here is going to it's going to start a process depending on what you're receiving as well. Some people may be activated, some people may receive upgrades, and there is an integration process for those things to come through and it's going to be for your highest good, as your team and your higher self is designing for you. We're not going to do anything that's going to overwhelm somebody. That's just not the way that we're intending these transmissions to come through. So really trusting the higher consciousness to facilitate these transmissions. So we do that, and then I'm going to go through. We're going to hook up, connect in. I'm going to bring in some light codes that assist with like confidence, willpower, abundance, determination, these kind of energies, as well as healing. And then we are going to release some clearing pyramids. This is an old ancient Egyptian technology, like mystery school technology. They are these pyramids that zoom around the body and help to transmute energy. So we'll have those flowing. We're also going to use a pre-programmed code that's going to assist in working with your column of light, working with the transmission centers, not quite the energy centers, and cleansing that column of light. And then what else we're going to do? We're going to gift a code that is a Lemurian healing frequency. So we're going to place this code inside the heart space, and then that code is going to go towards whatever healing intention is needed most of the time, or you can set that intention for yourself. So it's going towards whatever that healing intention is. And I think that's it as far as the protocol. And then I just do the transmission. So it's personally encoded. I'm guided directly through your higher consciousness for what needs to come through for you, for your highest good. So for some people, it may be focusing specifically on healing something, right? So somebody may have a chronic pain issue or some kind of chronic condition, and that might be what we need to focus on, or what your higher consciousness wants us to focus on. It may be activations. It may be time for you to have something activated, have more remembrance, maybe, or even upgrades. Maybe your sight comes on more, or you become more clairsentient through this process. So whatever, it could be a combination as well. It's whatever your higher consciousness is really guiding for us to do today. And it's always in alignment for the highest good, no harm being done, and only those that are open to receive will receive. And then the one last thing we do is a grounding code. So the grounding code assists in grounding to a higher density. So it's not just grounding, but to assist in grounding to a higher density that's appropriate for you. That's it. Is that good? Confirm? All right, so if you're open to the idea, I recommend to hang out and receive. You know, if for some reason you aren't able to be here the whole time and you have a transmission, so you're on the list. If you get disconnected, we're going to still go through the list in the order that it was received. You can come and don't be worried about like not receiving or anything like that. You're still going to be able to receive, and it's going to be uploaded on YouTube afterwards. So you can go back and watch your transmission if you missed it, because life happens, you know, sometimes we get disconnected, or, you know, a battery dies, or we fall asleep, whatever it is. Even if you do fall asleep, it's actually a really powerful way to receive, to be honest, because you're going to be out in the astral states and your body's going to be nice and relaxed, so you can receive more even that way. But yeah, we'll make sure that we get you hooked up. So no worries, no fears, yeah, no frustrations. We'll got you. If you can get into my Linktree link, or you can go to ty-el.com, you can find my YouTube. It's my username, Ty-El Heals. Same username here. All right. Does that sound good? Do we have any questions from anybody on the list before we get started? How's everybody feeling? It's good seeing everybody. It's been a hot minute since we've done this. Make sure you got some water nearby. Hi, Mandy. All right. No questions? Awesome. Cool. So just a quick reminder. First up is Elizabeth, Debbie, Misty, Melissa, Amanda, Karen. And keep in mind, I'm going to try to keep it as short as possible. I do have to ground between. So, I mean, trying to not answer too many questions and string things out too long, because I can do that. But I do need to kind of make sure I'm cleared and grounded before I go to the next person. So keep in mind, it may take a little bit. So if you're at the end of the list, I apologize, but it'll be worth the wait. Liz, okay. Oh, I will remember that. Liz, there you go. All right. All right, so first off, we're just going to start by assisting everybody that's open to receive. So what we're going to do is establish some energetic structures. So you can call this idea of gridding or shielding or armoring. Essentially what we're accessing is certain aspects of your organic architecture and solidifying those, building that out, and then putting some extra structures that help keep in what's right for you and keep out what's not right for you. So if you're open to receive, set that intention. If you're not open to receive, totally cool. So you don't have to follow along with what I'm describing. Just know that if you're intending to receive, then it will be done. Just feel your body. Just become very present in how things feel. Or if you're very visual, I would recommend to close your eyes and just observe what's taking place. A lot of people will see this stuff happening before I even talk about it. So we're communicating with the higher consciousness of each individual. We're asking the highest self to establish what geometries are best for each person's individual's template. So we're all different, we all hold different templates, and we're going to ask for whatever geometry is best in the way that they know we intend it, and we're going to manifest that structure in the pineal glands. So it's oftentimes either like a 2D, like a 6-pointed star, like a flat 6-pointed star of a certain frequency, or it's like a star tetrahedron, like a 3-dimensional version, or it can be even more advanced depending on the individual and what they have activated. So those are going to begin to merge together. It's essentially representing the polarity, the hierogamic union of masculine and feminine, essentially. Not quite polarity, but same idea. And those merging together. So that's going to be in the pineal gland. It's going to spin up at the appropriate spin rates for each person's template. So we're going to take some just slow, deep breaths at our own pace, just kind of settle in. And as we exhale the next breath, we're just going to move this geometry down from the pineal gland, down through the central column. So we're going to breathe this down from the pineal gland. It's going to start to move down through the throat. It's going to be cleansing as it moves down as well. It's going to go down, continue down through the high heart, and the heart, the solar plexus, sacral, the root, and it's going to go between the legs, past the feet, and we're going to go all the way into the core of Mother Earth. We're just going to show our collective some love here. We're all part of this beautiful being. back to breathe. Imagine breathing out from my heart in like a big tube that goes down into the center of the earth, like I'm sending love out to it. And there's some magic that takes place when we do this, some structures that are being established. That's important for now. And then we're going to bring this geometry back up the way that it came, right up through that tubing, up out the center of the earth, and it's going to go up, up, up until it stops about a foot below our feet. And there it's going to begin to spin up faster and faster. It will eventually pop out a platform, a liquid light platform. It's often like a diamond, white, platinum type frequency. And it's wide enough around if we were to extend our arms, we wouldn't be able to touch the sides. And it'll begin to emit this light, this diamond platinum white light that rises up through and around our whole body. So open like a cylinder. Beam me up, Scotty. And it'll rise up, up, up until it goes about a meter or so above the head. Again, everybody's different. And then we're going to take that geometry from the bottom platform, we're going to move it right up through the Hara line. So the pranic tube that houses the energy centers, the divine line. As it goes up, we're going to activate those energy centers. Activate the root, sacral, orange, solar plexus, yellow, heart, green, high heart. We're going to do throat, blue, third eye, indigo, crown, white violet. And then it's going to rise up to the top of that cylinder, about a meter above the head. And again, it's going to spin up faster and faster until it pops out another platform, and that's going to vacuum seal us into the cylinder. This is what some people refer to as a diamond pillar. Again, part of our organic architecture. Then we're going to connect directly just to pure consciousness, the representation of pure consciousness, which is going to flow into that top platform, into that geometry, and we're going to move that down and into the heart space, and boom, an explosion of the diamond heart is going to activate, express out, and trigger these aurora frequencies, which is like these higher realm color ranges, and it's going to fill up this container as well. Sparkles of magic. And then we're going to establish a set of structures that we refer to as CNOs. So science calls them carbon nano onions, but they're like different soccer ball shapes that fit perfectly within each other. They're like nested within each other. We're going to ask the inner one, the inner structure, to be like a diamond frequency, and then we're going to ask the outer layer to have kaleidoscopic chromium mirrors on all the faces of the structure, and then we're going to ask for the rest to be facilitated by the higher self of each individual, whatever frequencies are best to hold within those layers, and for the structures themselves. So whatever your personal alchemy, whatever is best for your personal alchemy at this time. As we expand that, our heart space out, we're going to place these set of structures around the heart. And then we're going to breathe out real deep, and we're going to expand these structures so that the inner structure goes all the way around our energy field, all the way around our energy, or our aura. So in 3, 2, 1, lock that in. Sometimes those structures will spin as well. Then we place a rainbow ray around the outside, so like it's like a rainbow around it, and we're good there. So this is our what we would call shielding and gridding. All right, and then for everyone that is open to receive, we're going to trigger that automated process that's going to assist with clearing. So I recommend to tune in at this time if there's certain areas of your body or certain areas you would like some extra clearing. I recommend to really tune into those areas when we're doing this. Or tune in into whatever way you do best. So you know, if you're very visual, tune in your ways. You know, I know a lot of people who are here are very psychic. They have their gifts on. So I recommend to tune in because there's a lot that can come through in this part alone. But yeah, the main intention is to assist with clearing. So we're going to place my left hand behind the head of everyone here, and then I'm going to do my right index finger and middle finger on the forehead, and we're going to trigger this. We are God. We're all pieces of God. We're all pieces of the whole. We're working with Christic architecture, which is somewhat some people may identify as 12D, depending on how people measure dimensions. But that would be considered Christ consciousness. Those are Christic structures. And that is our organic templates are based on that. So, and then it just keeps going up. But that's just another sliver of God, right? We're just all peace. So I'm just going to trigger this real quick. As we're doing this, I'm just going to ask everyone's highest selves to step in if they're open to receive. And then I'll ask any guides and aspects that are relevant for what needs to come through for each person, for the highest good only and the highest good of all only. We're going to ask them to step up. And then we'll invite beings, the highest living eternal organic light only, that would like to assist the higher selves in the intentions today, to please do so with deep appreciation and love. And in these transmissions and following, no harm will be done. No energy will be taken that is not given out of love. And it will be in alignment for the highest good of all only. And only those that are open to receive will receive, and only what's meant for them. So if you're here just curious, don't worry, we're not going to be pushing any codes or any of this woo-woo stuff onto you. If you're curious, we're happy to have you here, and we're happy to answer questions. But just keep in mind as well, you may feel stuff, just as you might smell someone who comes into the room with you and has a bunch of cologne on. Doesn't mean they're spraying you with the cologne. It's just you may smell it. You know, you may feel some tingles. You may feel stuff coming on, but that's just going to happen even if you're in the room with me or some others like us in the physical as well. It's just the nature of our co-creation together. We interact with energies all the time like that. It's just part of the consent of having these experiences together. Which is really cool too. Once you start to get really sensitive to things, you don't even have to like buy stuff like crystals. Like there's some crystals I'm like, they're just super cool and have super cool energy, and the pictures do it. Like the picture has the energy. So yeah, you can like, there's like these $20,000 crystals that people buy, like these like necklaces. They're like scientifically structured and whatnot. And they feel pretty cool, but I'm like, of course I'm never going to be able to sample one. Oh, no, that's not true. Maybe someday. Not that I might want it even, but then I could actually feel it. I'm like, okay, are they legit? I'm like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool. And there's a lot of different energy tech, lots of devices that you can try out. So once you get really sensitive to these things, there's just like, it's just truth, you know, you can't hide from energy. Energy doesn't lie. Almost here, almost done here. For those that are just entering, what we're doing is assisting in an automated process that helps with clearing, it's like a healing. But we're gonna, after we complete this, we're gonna do personalized transmissions. So we have a list of people that have snagged a slot through donation, and we're gonna do personalized healing activations, upgrades, any combination of that for each person. I'm being reminded to make it fun. I'm like, man, that boring, man. Come on, remember to make it fun. Okay, got it. All right. All right. Am I being that boring? Like I'm taking it too serious. I kind of am. I'm kind of in that mode, I guess. Okay, we'll have fun. We're gonna have fun. Breathe and have fun. I love that. I love that. Breathe is key. Alrighty. So Liz is up first. So Liz, we're going, and for everyone else as well, I'm going to be setting the chat to subscriber only. That's just the chat. So this just helps to manage the energy of the room, because obviously what I do is quite strange, and you know, I do make some funny sounds, and my eyes do all sorts of stuff. So to help not distract people and just have people be more focused on receiving, we set the chat to subscriber only. Thank you. And So yeah, if you're interested in continuing the chat and asking any questions, our moderators and others here are very knowledgeable. They've heard my spiels a million times, so they can answer a lot of questions. And it's just a way to show energetic support as well. It's an energy exchange, and it's deeply appreciated. There's a lot that happens outside of the physical when you do, you give an energy exchange like that, and it's just deeply appreciated, and it's very special. So, and yeah, and there's some extra perks too when we do group healings and such. But yeah, thank you, David, for subscribing. And I'm gonna have it be. I'm trying to figure out how to do this right, but in the future, I'm gonna have it so subscribers, if we do like personalized transmissions like this, it's gonna be for subscribers. It's gonna be at a reduced price. I just gotta make sure I figure out how to do that on the fly, so it's not like I'm not going, okay, I gotta double check, you know. So I don't want to. Yeah, I'll figure out how to do that, and then just another way to give back. Just reunited, David. All right, Liz. So first up, any last questions before we get rocking and rolling? Because I'm going to be in a channeling mode, and I won't be able to look at the chat. So last chance to ask anything or mention anything before we get rolling. Just a reminder, if you're on the list and you get disconnected, fall asleep, whatever, life happens, don't stress out. We're still going to do your transmission, and it'll be available on the YouTube. Oh, who's that? Thank you, Angela. And thank you for that deadly. Yeah, lots of questions, I'm sure. Yeah, I feel that. If you want, you're always welcome to shoot me a message too. You can email me, shoot me a message, and I'll get back to you with those. But I will answer some questions between while I'm grounding and clearing between people. No, I will on here, but I'm wanting to get to the people. So just if there's anything urgent, but I'm happy to answer questions. So stick around. All right, so we are going to switch it over to subscriber only. I'm channeling me. These are that's Tai El. Tai El is the collective version of me. So these are all different aspects that I've integrated so far. There's plenty more, but yeah, so they're just different expressions of myself, just different hats. They're all just me. It's just all me. It's just expressions of energy. So, and it can be a little weird. Some people channel other entities and things. That's not my bag. I just channel me. There's enough going on there. All right, so I'm gonna set it to subscriber only, and then we'll rock and roll. So if you're open to receive, I would recommend to hang out. Oops. All right, here we go. All right, so rock and roll. Liz is up first. And so right off the bat, I'm going to connect with Mother Earth's heart. And around her heart, she's got a structure, a star tetrahedron. I'm going to connect to the bottom tetrahedron with the platinum frequency. I'm going to bring this up through the rocks and the minerals, up through my root and into my heart space. So this is a magnetic. It's like the feminine. I get that from the planet. We get power and energy from the planet. And I'm going to ask this to continue to run for the transmission. I'm going to connect with Sirius, Dog Star, bring down like an electric pink that's going to flow through my crown, down and into my heart. This is like the masculine, the electric. So you're both going to flow. We're going to place a code in the back of your heart. We're going to open up my heart. I'm going to blast the back of your heart with a magenta frequency from my heart. And this is going to bring in some light codes and some frequencies from different cosmic bodies that assist with like confidence, willpower, determination, motivation, these type of energies, and of course healing. I'm going to create a double of myself. He's going to place his hands on the front of your knees, and he's going to release from his heart what we call clearing pyramids. They're going to come out in sets of 2, and then they'll kind of like buzz around the body and help to transmute energy. He's going to leave his hands on there for 6 minutes and then draw those back in return. We're going to plug in a set of healing frequencies, a little thumb drive with a code on it. We're going to plug this into the crown. So there are all sorts of good frequencies in there: self-love, perfect health, confidence, willpower, abundance, energy, calmness, awareness, unity, abundance, diamond, dolphin, dragon, angel frequencies, all sorts of good stuff. So we're going to ask that to run for 2 hours for you, or for however long is appropriate for your highest and greatest good. We're going to use a code here, small cylinder that we're going to place a code within. Place this between the root and the sacral. This is going to go through your column of light, work with your transmission centers. It's a bit of a healing for your column of light. We're just going to do infinity. It's like a figure 8 through the whole system here. And ask that to run for an hour. This helps accelerate healing and also helps with integration. And then one last code here. So we got a golden sphere. We place a code within it. I place this on the heart. This is a Lemurian healing. So it can go towards whatever intention you'd like. Otherwise, it's going to go where it's needed most based on what we've set today for our intentions. Are we good? Confirm? All right, and then we're going to rock and roll. I'm just going to do my transmission. Thank you. So if you're open to receive, again, there's energetic spillover for everyone. But this is personalized for our sister Liz. Just feel your body, just relax. You don't have to watch me, Liz. So we're doing a little bit of focusing here on the right side of the neck. Timia suna maturce po asurta kaya karate se mettere si fiato. Ci pro si murta pasana tur ko kemar ti pe piesi fiandani. Ci di timor da possa perché te hand ka ko kaira ko di per di possa. Ci di tu sa via samanan tor da possa fare tarrati che rendanti se marta per sciato. Ci reta rien sanando così per yana cosa. Almost feels like it's moving down from the ear all the way down through the right side. I don't know if you have like issues down the right side of your ear and down through the right shoulder. We'll see if we move all the way down there, but it kind of feels like it almost like underneath the right breast. But if you moving down there, it's just kind of the part of the right shoulder. You don't have to be having like pain or anything in these areas. We store certain programs based on the frequency in different parts of our body. We're holistic beings, so even if we had a shoulder injury or something, we may end up working all in different spots of the body. If I start burping a lot, I apologize if you're sensitive to that, but that's a way I help to release energy. Maybe burping or yawning on your end as well. Or having an emotional response, whatever you're experiencing, it's perfect. Lean into whatever intensity you're experiencing. Litu ratia hamarta susuko na manta koroni mantine na kotarsiatu. Riti tisan tiamo sana da kutratu shibia sada da barashike klimati barsafka to ko hela khanda ratani mai. Ritarde manotap washama hasaro turchi siasanan koro ka preparasi per kin market per sabra ki market per sabra ki market per ki market per ki sabra ki porto. Ci pro ki porto non sabra ku parto tabra ke hada kada yati reka se per ki per ki matso per ki porto per ki porto per ki matte reka. Focusing on the throat here in the back of the neck. Ta ishne se anda na ku tarta passe per ki market per ki ku ko la pantana na ku ti asia. Ci quasi arta asia con un propria tu ku harta pasho. Prasho taramon sarte per si sarata kamara ko te parisia. Sahurta masara kamar ki paperi korko hamura ya to sundaramia tato caro kama rinunare te pecanado ruta farà male la nena recuri chiara la masata brutta cara te metani arcata craniatas Nara numa sanatu lutusa nike kalu tele mahanatu ra kalu tama kiri murtisi hanata karata ye da idene kata yeta sikuri manata keno kana kutani to gemara passata kora kuki sieba ritu pasu nantar to sipia surkuya faral min hanni tuira baratu Memorti sanni na kutartshe. Ritu tut at kanu kariyate eni mat at ke kurkia. Shukuka muhammamani ma. Sue paritu samvirata sua kama. Le ruta mira shadake na hamortum brahmana. Alleluia nalu ke malia. Luki lulu mata lulu kasanandurutia. Alla te mari nuru rituginga mare kayatu kamara tu si fiesi vrete pensando di mano to pazzi per chi porta Gesù Focus around the neck and throat. Yin guanamahara anian wayan anian korengamiana. Obviously, that's a lot about expression. Communication. Sukamara tapiasana. Siprashi fascin tamuna tanamiano. Sukura cora hawana mano, no man imani, coriki with san suana. Little tamahado, auto, hamo. Shaku, kamo, kana. Kiako Gani, Konamahakore. Kiako Gagona, Giano, no Gua. Ya, no camo, Giana, Cosa. Suti pifi, santo sua. Warani, a Kuroko Cacao, che mi make no moya. Sui Shuansona mana, di atata, picche kitty, atati, atata, Yamata. Es, the este, So where do you want to get dinner tonight, Elena? Renkenaki au koa. Renen ko hano karakiki wiskiama toma. Rotuya manti ni kuskiere mera. Last night was a fail. Yaki con canamiar che whiskey e puanto mamayaturi. Tiuri shutan surati bakiaki na hasurate parisipike. I think I could feel that. Yeah, I just all of a sudden got like super hungry. I'm like, oh man, if I'm hungry, I get hungry already. Ni mahasi no korko hena ni asane kaskere tiresi. Suru ani mano mahauru tartasi sere tipisi kimu kaskere to red man da cosevere per severe che dimgo suti che però che dimgo per scevere che però patara che yati. Ti kuna ma tebe arte kaskere per da passare che merci bu sopra che buci per da fatti cammini per te mer che tanto per che te procomandato per da mer che te che però tu ti per su che buona mahata ma mer che per che ambo ti pro capire che che na qua lo me ana qua la calma Luka mahaluya hana ko la kaya la kaya ki wei kan ki ko ka ka su ke wei ma ko te ki ani me ko te pe ku te pe nanda pa ke ko la mani no ko de pe shedre ke ni ma sabar ki per ko ni man fatto ti ci vuole si fare sabar to sabar to bar sabar ke bar to sabar ke ni ko ba hadna ko te per ke ni na sa ya ti mar to pas sabar to bar sabar ke ni ka ta te sabar ke mar to bar sabar to na ko te ko sa ter ci per so viera sa samur te man sa ke per te per sabar ke ti per ko te per ke ni mar wan sabar ma sabar ke te per sabar ko te bar ti mar ko te suati anna so fa ci frasi era tasti Suana tu te pa fera tarra ti ferasi frasi morto per sempre che te per sempre che ne per parte di per incontrare che per di poter morto per ti per scegliere come morto per di pa ti anarti per corrutore di witara ci porti per passa che non ci porta passare che mana da patia che ne che se per scegliere che di morto di vero tu non ti per morti per noi che per che per che per radio radio per scifu a certe sani morto per suore per scegliere che che non ti per che per scegliere che morto per che per di morto ci per che morto per che mana per scegliere che morto per che morto per scegliere che per che morto per sapere che per la patia ne vorrei passare si per ya farà farci per accusare ma marte perché si vede che per rendere che tu poi di mano dopo savaro tu sapere come mi ti mano cutor di petias ti parla un mandano me guarda ti provo a harro da maro pero tu morri pipo sana pura avro ben morea na batia mokeri ti riquare ne noremana tu cuore biera ne mana ti bana mi cuore me riene manana ti mando no meno kana dali shi tu si shiatsa shukura kaske quarta mana su ti prasifique kandi te na kurkeske hati pa ti ma pa gitu pa ni kerati atu pa ni puro ta turut pa nino suri. Good. Confirm. Move on. All right. Simurta pasiara. And we're going to do a grounding code for you, Liz. So we got 3 rainbow-colored star tetrahedrons. We have a code in each one. We're going to place one on the crown. We're going to place one on the heart. One on the root. Explode the crown. Explode the root. It's going to assist with grounding. All right. I would drink some water after that as well. And then when you're back to planet Earth, take your time. No rush. Let us know how you're feeling. Set it back to everybody here. I'd love to hear how everyone else feels as well, what you experienced. I think I like that one. Prutukurta. How you feeling, Jessica? Tingling both arms? Can happen. Plasma chills. Yeah, I love the plasma chills. You could feel stuff. Awesome, David. Last night was amazing. Just tuning in now. Awesome. Wait, did I do some last night? What did I do last night? Oh, I was alive last night too, huh? That's right. I forgot. I already forgot. Speechless. Beautiful. That's okay. It's good to be quiet sometimes. Not you specifically, that sounded terrible. I started crying, I let it out. That's a great sign of release. Lots of yawning, beautiful. Meditative, I like it. My dog, Clyde, was panting and crying, dizzy and vibrating. Oh, interesting. He was probably feeling and seeing a lot. I'm sure he just wanted to make sure that you're okay. You were definitely receiving. Well, you know, the animals respond differently to this stuff too. They might not be sure what's going on. Oh, dizzy and vibrating. Yeah, so I would recommend just to chill out, Liz. I would probably, if you're feeling a lot right now, I would recommend, you know, not to worry about, like, I wouldn't stick around, to be honest. There's a lot of energy that's going to be coming through. So I would recommend just to be in that energy. You know, if you can get into some nature, you know, put your feet on some grass or something, that's gonna be helpful. But otherwise, just be, because a lot came through for you. So drink some water, relax as best as you can, and just be easy on yourself. And remember, for all that are open to receive too, keep in mind days and weeks down the line that you were on Alive too, because the way that this stuff works is it's a process. So sometimes it's like uninstalling programs that aren't serving you, so that we can make space to bring in programs that would serve you or to activate you or upgrade you. And sometimes that takes a little bit to authentically and gently integrate in for you. But we will often forget, you know, a few days down the line, we'll be like, I forgot that I even did it. I was on Alive with that guy. I was just on TikTok and forgot and whatever. And then you may have some stuff come up or some activations come through, and just remember that you were here. And that can help a lot, because otherwise our ego structure can start making up stories and worried about things, or, you know, not really sure what's going on. So I'll never forget. Thank you so much for your donation. Emily asked, could you please explain what language you are speaking? Ancient tongues. It's the languages I speak are essentially my soul expression. It can be considered both of those. It's often a combination of different expressions of myself, different expressions of energy. So it can be perceived in different ways. So some people may associate it with the idea of tongues. We call it light language, or light linguistics is the term I prefer. But it's essentially unstructured language that affects energetic structure. So light is information, light is data. So we're having an exchange of data. These are tools used to affect energetic structures. So essentially the sacred geometry that forms everything that we experience. So when we work at a coding level, we can work at a template level, and these tools affect those ideas in the quantum and the wave potential before it gets expressed as a physical experience. So when we affect things at a more subtle layer out in that template level using these tools, it translates into the recipient in some really magical ways. It could be considered spell slinging. It could be a form of speaking spells. That's where spelling comes from in our languages. Except for languages, structured languages like English and some, many others that we're used to, because they're structured, they can be manipulated, and they've been manipulated for a really long time. And English especially is even pretty backwards in a lot of things that we say. So it was this already a way of like keeping things into boxes. So this is unstructured. So it's certain words don't necessarily mean certain things, and like some people's expressions of it is just like the same sounds over and over again. And you might hear me sometimes just making da, 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 those type of things. And it can be many things, but it can be a delivery device, essentially. The frequencies, the waves themselves carry the information. So that could be just the waveforms that help to carry the information to the recipient. And not exactly, but could be perceived in one way like that. There's so many different angles to it. Some of it can be directly translated. Some of it comes from ancient languages. So, really ancient, fundamental languages were based more on the idea of light language, based more on energy. Hebrew and Aramaic and some of those have more of that still there than maybe some of our newer languages. But it's a tool, and I'm also using my hands to play frequencies as well. So I'm using my energy field to essentially tune like an instrument. So we're energy, we're frequency, we're vibration, and so using energy, frequency, and vibration, we can make pretty profound shifts in people in all sorts of ways. So we choose to use it for healing and helping people remember these things for themselves, because that's what we do here. We're not just, I do this and I'm special, I can do all this. No, literally everybody has their own gifts. That's what this is here to do, is to help unlock that for other people. And oftentimes it's not about putting anything into people. It's not about like, I've given you a gift and you're activated. It's not that. It's a lot of times it's about releasing what we're not, so we can be who we truly are. That's it. That's why we focus on healing so much, is because for these things to truly come through, we got to release what we're not. And a lot of times that's going to be held back by our limiting beliefs, right? Our definitions we've assigned as negative and fear-based a lot of times. Our fears and our traumas, our emotions that we haven't processed. That's what's being held on to. And this is a tool to help release that. Hope that made sense. It gets activated or remembered, Crystal. So you can learn to understand it and how it works from a logical perspective, but it essentially bypasses the logic mind. The logical mind is too slow for this type of communication. It doesn't mean that it's separate from logic. It's just it bypasses that system, and more if we're looking at our beingness as a system, including our physical body. The right hemisphere of the brain is more of the side that is processing this type of stuff. So that's our intuitive side, the artistic side, the side that recognizes patterns. It actually processes data exponentially faster than that left hemisphere that we're used to using for language and such. Thank you for the gift. Yeah, I'm always happy to answer questions too. Thank you for asking, Crystal. All right, are we good? All right, we're good. Just as a reminder, up next is Debbie. And then after Debbie, it's going to be Misty, Melissa, Amanda, and Karen. And for people who are just coming in or just dropped in, we are doing personalized transmissions. So personally encoded transmissions that include some other healing things. But it's like it's like writing and performing a healing song for one specific person in the room. We're all in this room together. Just because I'm writing it to the music that they like and the lyrics resonate with them or whatever, doesn't mean that other people in the room won't have an emotional response to that music or can choose to dance to it or heal to it, right? So that's why we do it in this public space. So if you're open to receive, I recommend to just chill out, set your own intentions for what comes through for you, your own parameters, and just observe, see what happens. Magic can come through. Probably not tonight, Kitty, but I'm gonna try to jump on again soon. Yeah, so I'm trying to, I got to get my Linktree fixed. Apparently that makes a lot of sense why things have been really like weird and slow, that nobody can access my stuff. So, but when I'm going to try to fix that. If not, you can go to ty-el.com and it'll get you there. But I'll be putting on there, make sure you subscribe on there because it'll notify you when I change things. And it will let you know when I put up where you can reserve a slot. So I will go on at a certain night, at a certain time or whatever, and you can snag a spot. So because I know not everybody just jumps on TikTok, and there's a lot of people that could really benefit and the spots get taken up. Oh, beautiful. I hope in a good way, right, Kitty? I'm not doubting it. This is very powerful stuff. So I'm going to switch the chat over to subscriber only while we do this. It just helps to manage the room, the energy of the room, and doesn't just, so people aren't so distracted by trolls and whatnot, because clearly what I do is strange. And we can just focus on receiving and feeling the energies and being in the observation mode. So if you would like to continue the conversation or you have other questions, subscribing is the way to do that. It's one way of showing an energetic support, energetic exchange. It does a lot of other really beautiful things, but that's one aspect to it, and there's some other perks. But there's no pressure to do that anyway. There's lots of ways to exchange energy as well. You can just tap on the screen to show hearts, because that's going to show it to more people too. The more likes it has, the more the live is shown to others, and who knows who can benefit from it, right? For me, seeing this stuff for the first time changed my life, because I remembered. I was like, oh, I didn't know it was a thing, and it was home to me, right? And I would love for that to take place to somebody that hasn't experienced their own magic yet. So we're just reflecting that magic back. Good day to you, Dragon Heart. All right, so we're going to switch it over to subscriber only. Thank you for the hearts and the gifts. I gotta remember, they change everything all the time. Uh-oh. I love that filter, but if I miss the mark, it does that. So we'll leave that on until we... I gotta come up with a better... one than that. Just do the same thing, just stick out my tongue. Dang it! Come on! Come on, dude. I'm totally touching the button. That was totally on there. I don't know why it was doing that. Come on. Trying to Shanghai me. Come on. Okay, got it. Okay. Jeez. Dude, got coding fingers. It moved too fast. All right. All right, Debbie. So you're up next. So feel free to relax. I recommend sitting down. You don't have to watch me. You don't have to listen to me. You can be in your own world. Thank you, Invisible Seer. So we're just going to reaffirm no harm will be done, no energy will be taken that is not freely given out of love. It'll be in alignment for the highest good of all only, and only those that are open to receive will receive, and only what's meant for them. So I'm just going to reaffirm that connection to Mother Earth. I'm going to reaffirm that connection to Sirius. Place the code in your heart. Open my heart. Blast the back of your heart and into this code. It's going to help with some confidence, motivation, determination type frequencies, and healing as well. And then we're going to release those clearing pyramids and plug in the set of healing frequencies, all sorts of good stuff. Plug that into the crown. We're going to ask that to run for a couple hours. I'm going to run a figure 8 for a while for you. Helps accelerate healing and helps with integration. We'll use a little code that's going to assist with your column of light. And then we're going to use a code, Lemurian healing, like an automated healing, that you're welcome to ask to work towards a specific intention. Otherwise, it's going to go where it's needed most. We're going to place this in the heart space. There we Good. Confirm. All right, and then we rock and roll. Tardi nasamata. Lekuma. Aniwato. Ronima. Paru Korua. Rindukrani metete wawa. Luri mamu ya mara nani kulu. Rini nutani mortea. Litori puati matu. Krukanata. Lireti mirto de watamuka. Librasi kepea. Yaku kakae no kotapiakia. Santi ko kakareki. Che proprio molto di mano passati a tutto solo timore di sanato lo che ti perisce di molto bene. Some work here, the back of the neck. I don't know. Kimura. Rumna muana. If you feel any intensity, lean into it. Don't run away from intensity. So if you're feeling any pain or tension or emotions coming to the surface, if this is for anybody, lean into it because it's coming up because it's trying to shift. Think of like pain and emotions as resistance in your energy field and in your body. So as energies are running through like a stream, if there's clogs in that stream, it's going to like build up the pressure. If you lean into it, it'll help shift it faster. Focusing a bit here on the eyes, specifically the right eye currently. Again, the recipient's higher consciousness is guiding me through this process. So I'm not going through and making decisions. Oh, you should do this, we should do this, we should do that. I can only see so much, right? I can only assume so much on my end. The higher consciousness of the individual knows what the whole game board looks like. So we trust that process, trust them to guide that process. A lot of times the human gets in the way, we get in the way. Ritukaru haru mia niato. Ritukuye gamani mortoda turtisi asia sanu usunamara. Tire turia sandiriku haru kukabura mimiretia. Ritukmanda tuara. Taritu kulituria shinama aswara. Liri wandur the maturia kiara. Litui with umbri muare kurqueni mauri. Tui su ayu in the mountain, Tatukai. Hiti Sara Nure Muri Nanatu Karaki Kiki Wikura Barakatara Severiki Barakimers of the Parapaka Ekulaki Pakir Kutamani Kungora Kipisi. And just as a reminder, I burp to help release energy. So it's a good thing. Not just being weird. Well, I am being weird, but not just being weird. You may yawn, you may be burping on your end as well. It's very common. We're having an emotional response, which is a way to help release energy. Emotions, energy and motion, they're meant to be moving through us. We have no problem processing the happy ones, right? We laugh, no problem. But we often will hold on to the negative ones because we consider them negative, right? We don't want to process them oftentimes because we adopt programs from others that say, oh, you can't be mad or you can't be sad, especially not right now because you're in front of your boss or whoever, you know. Jiwa haruta tu wanda de pesika ku kakai ku tari pesik ya ku kala berde parte pasagera muti berde passe berde berto cibaru te berto te berde semene ke te sebere ki berto man te berto berto te parte pe ke hase ken ke berde ke sebere ki berto berto sebere ke berto berde berde masti man ma de berde merde bi ti man mo ti berto berto ko darla pesik berto te berto morto berto hara kare ke ku re pe ti pe pa de te sebere tu hati si anse tu si sia ritu si fiar si berto passa hana na ku darla si berto ben se ke tu ti berto fesse ke ni matar ta ku ri por Rin musar ja šutare ke torena. Si pransenen kore shatu krahtatu reshta hikia santu ka kiokratamre. Si preswansi non tarchi tu karta papera ti pesia. Si ti si ambosa mahatu tata kuihora. Si we hore mansoni marati pesiarti ka kore dansarti ke kore ke kui kri ko ma de per. Good. Confirm. Move on. All right, we're going to do the grounding code real quick. All right. All set. You have to let me know how you're feeling. Did it not get set to subscriber only? Or maybe Mom's with you. Awesome. See if that changed anything. Rindu Satya. So yeah, let us know how you're feeling when you come back. No rush. I watched for 8 months, and at first I felt nothing, and then slowly I started to feel. Yeah, that's very common. Hi, la Cristian. Yes, Maria. That's what happens a lot of times. So with me, I didn't feel things for a while, or I didn't know what it felt like to feel things. And as I did more healing and cleared my field more and became more attuned to these subtle frequencies, I started to feel a lot more. And to a point now, I feel like so much. You wouldn't believe how much I feel. Like I feel energy just like I would if it's physical. So that's how I perceive energy, is through pure frequency. Because feeling doesn't lie. You feel the pure vibration. And but yeah, so now it'll change over time. How people are you channeling right now? Your energy feels a little chaotic. How many people? I'm not channeling other people. I'm channeling myself. So these are different expressions of myself. I don't channel other beings or entities. These are expressions of energies. So consider the idea of like when like wearing a different hat. You're wearing a different costume. You know, you may act a little different around your friends out at a club than maybe your boss at a job interview or something, or your grandma at Sunday brunch, right? They're expressions of energy. We like to attach these ideas onto these expressions of energy, but there's different specialists, there's different expressions. They're different sets of frequency that affect things differently. So they sometimes many come through. Sometimes there's crazy ones. Some of them can be associated with what sounds like a language, and some of it just sounds like weird tones and sound effects and all sorts of things. So my stream of consciousness encourages me not to try to box things up, to not try to limit these ideas, because it's already, humans have a hard enough time conceptualizing all this work to begin with. We want to understand it in ways that it actually lowers what takes place. This stuff is way more powerful than we yet realize, but the less we limit it with our belief systems and our expectations and assumptions, the more magic is available for it to take place, right? From heart, not from brain, right? Yeah, it bypasses the brain. I mean, if it's processed in the brain, it's processed more in the right hemisphere of the brain, that intuitive side. But it's meant to be felt. It's meant to be felt through the heart. But it can come through in all different areas, right? The heart's key. But we're not one-dimensional beings. We're multi-dimensional beings. So sometimes it's taken through different areas. Everybody is very different. Like, that's the thing. We want things to fit in boxes still. Like, oh, we should only do this, or it should only be like this. Or I'm like, no. No, don't you project your limitations onto me. Like, you doing it. like you think too little of yourself. Why do you keep limiting yourself, right? That's what religion does. We don't need to be religious. You know, we're expanded multidimensional beings, and we're remembering more and more. I don't know shit yet, you know? I'm remembering every day. But one of my biggest lessons is to not limit myself. Thank you, Frasin. So that's the idea. I hope that made sense. And just FYI, I'm not offended at all by that. My language doesn't come out that fast. That was like a rap. Sometimes it's super fast. Yeah, it's what's interesting too, as we go through each person. Sometimes vocalizations won't come at all. Sometimes there'll be a ton of different dialects or aspects that come through. All sorts of some sound effects. Thank you, Kat. And it's interesting because it's really associated with the energies that need to come through for that individual. So you can kind of get a vibe of like what that individual's energy is like by what kind of expressions come through. So there's some that are super multidimensional, like some beings that I work with are super multidimensional. And I know when I used to confuse me when people said that, like, you're very multidimensional. I'm like, oh, aren't we all? You know, like, but there's so many different expressions that it's just like, you can't put, yeah, like, it's just, there's no other way to express it. It's just like so many different dimensions to it. Instead of just like language, you know, it's like sounds and tones and different poses and blah, blah, blah. In your last one, there were so many dialects. Yeah, awesome, Karen. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. Yeah, they come, and sometimes there will be, and sometimes the next time, maybe not. So next up is Misty. Are you still here, Misty? I hope so. And then after Misty is going to be Melissa, and then Amanda, and then Karen currently. Yeah, I'm very multidimensional. And it took a while for me to understand that, because I just for the longest time I just perceived everybody to be like me, and I didn't know there was a difference between people. I didn't understand, because everybody was always trying to put, oh, awesome, Misty. So everybody's trying to put things into boxes, like, this is the way that we are, this is the way that we function, this is this way, and this was, and it always confused me really bad, because, and now I know why, is because we're not all the same. We're not everything. There's not a set structure for things, and that had always confused me, because I trusted what everybody said, because they seem like they know their stuff. And then over time it's like, well, okay, that's great. No, that's accurate. They're not wrong. It's just they're explaining one container. They're explaining one set of structures and the ways that they've experienced things. But it can be expanded outside of that. It just keeps expanding and expanding. The key is to not limit ourselves, because that's all we do. That's this whole ascension process, and finding ourselves is really about letting go of the things that we're not, so we can expand into what we truly are, and that's pretty much limitless. We just got to remember. Trying to understand, but it's a lot to understand. Yeah, no need to understand. That's a human thing, right? Feel it. Your soul remembers, and you're going to get the information that's relevant to you at this time. There's so much data. There's no pressure to need to know anything. It's all there. It's just about going through your own process authentically. It's not about beating the game. It's about playing it, honestly. Hi, Harmony. Hey, Casio Tarria Sagura. It's good to see you. Timase Antura ta. Radimasiantuka. Yep. Okay. All right. I think we're good to go. Are we good? Confirm. All right. So next up is Misty, and just as a reminder, we are doing personalized transmissions. So what I mean by that is essentially I'm writing and performing a healing song for one specific person in this room, in this container with us. But just because we're all in the same room essentially, and that song has the vibe to what they like. Maybe it's got the genre of music they like. The lyrics are written specifically for them. It resonates with them. But that doesn't mean everyone else in the room can't hear the music, right? They can choose to dance to the music, to heal to the music, to vibe with the music, to have an emotional response to it. So that's why we do it in this public space like this, because everybody can benefit if they choose to. There's a lot of energetic spillover. I'm going to be switching over to subscriber only chat here in a second. This just helps manage the energy of the room, because clearly what I do is strange and we get trolls and people get distracted by comments. So I recommend not to get distracted by comments. It messes with the energy of the room. Just relax, if you're open to receive, just be in that receptive mode, be in the observation mode. That's where the magic's at. And just relax. You don't have to watch me, just be within you, because it's all being stimulated within you. So if you want to share an energy exchange, subscribing is a great way to do that. And you can continue conversations. Our subscribers are amazing, and a lot of them are tapped in. They're healers themselves, and do similar stuff that I do, and they've heard my spiel a bunch of times, so they know my perspective on some common questions. So I really trust them in that. So it's another language. We're speaking in tongues. It can be perceived as tongues. So tongues is most associated with religion, though, and religion is about keeping things in boxes again, like keeping things limited. It says this is what's right, this is not what's right. This is a spiritual expression. It's part of who I am, not necessarily something I do. It's a tool that I use, but it's just part of who I am. And I think that's a really important difference, I guess. Not really difference, just another important perspective when we call it light linguistics or light languages. So I'm going to switch it over to subscriber only, but don't worry, everybody is open to receive if you're open to receive for your highest good only. Oops, not again, come on. Man, I swear I'm doing it right. I swear I'm doing it right. Come on, man, come on. Okay. There we go, okay. Jeez. I'm gonna have to have a compilation of that, just like every time that I screw up. Hi, Ralph. All right, hi, Casey. All right, so Misty is up next. And again, if you're open to receive for your highest good only, then you will receive. So we're just gonna set the intention, reaffirm, no harm will be done, no energy will be taken that is not freely given out of love. It'll be in alignment for the highest good of all only, and only those that are open to receive will receive, and only what's meant for them. So I'm just going to reaffirm my connection to Mother Earth, get that power from the planet. I'm going to connect to Sirius, connect to the stars, get that wisdom data down through into my heart space. These are going to continue to flow. We're going to place the code in the heart. Last the heart, bring in those confidence, motivation, determination light codes, and as well as healing. We're going to release those clearing pyramids through the knees, throughout the body that help transmute. We're going to plug in the healing frequencies. Like that in the crown. We're going to ask that to run for a couple of hours. All sorts of good stuff in there too. We're going to run the big figure 8 through your system. This helps accelerate healing and helps with integration. We're going to help with a little bit of a healing in the column of light, working with the transmission centers. And then we're going to take out a golden sphere. We're going to place a code within it. And this is a Lemurian healing. So we're going to place this in the heart space, and you can set the intention for that to go to a specific area of healing if you'd like. Otherwise, it's just going to go where it's needed most based on the intentions we set today. Good. Confirm. All right, then we rock and roll. Just relax, feel your body. You don't have to watch me. Be present, whatever you're experiencing. If you feel any sensations, lean into the sensations, any kind of emotions. Honor yourself. A lot going on in the throat tonight for everybody. Sumahana, Gu, Sumahana, Lu, Sumahana, Mia, Nu, Ru, Pau, 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 Paima, Yumana, Tema, no, Makia, Tahu, this is the Santor Namati. Kielu Lantor de Cascaradetti, Mut, Rikin Kere to see Sanse Mortasa, Rinki Mortasia Cansene Kuki Mayare. Kiamorti Sian Yanokore. I found some stuff going on in the back of the sacral as well. So one on the back of the neck, back of the sacral. Hingokai Morati. They're very deeply connected. Expression and creation areas. Yesimori Senataya as above, so below. Kunkaka Mare Torini in Siasiaro. Rinmora tu sistema hafarata pasi hotur tu kokai wara trasi arete ti sistema da parlo cose per chi procurare per severe chi mi tu severa notia ti mora parne ma cascura che prizi avrà severa che ne messe per cudere parte perché per tu per severa non sa per dar bim per che per che atti e atti rimonti a mano to passa ora ti porce per tu hartu per ferti e passa perché ne messe per che procurare per severa che per morti per che per passa parte per severa che non per pensati ci per severa che mostra tutto bisogno di per totati e atti te casete per Feruti severamente per sopravvivere per scegliere chi non possibile ci per dire dopo se vorrei merda parte c'è che anche la cute che per che ne per scegliere che per una cosa per cui per me che ripeti o tardi ci per attire ma rotto per scegliere che per sempre che per scegliere con una pahato che che se che me con il del mansurtia si può fare inizia in morta passeggera desierti se ne molte passate due consuanti per non passare che sia sopra i punti per tutto ti pusho para ta passare che me lo sapete per sapere che ti per non cutare che la che che per spiegare anche siana tu anama si semea che mosiana ti walu temori kimi che mor si ruta ti mar tu comana non corre mai che non bevo con le turche che pecca hekuro su su essa marta pasta kukango che va del turpe per l'università ti mori tu sian sanendo corretto ero tu hortu fi fressi ma per se via torina yakko ritu kan muhat satu ki warta torino siete le zia torta così e poi i bandiru a tardi le romanzo de passi infatti a montagna molto perché a guerra tu li morti per saltare non con i guero ritu quando ritrasci na ti tutti panisi non manti nara non ancora nimo no ritua te pra piero no massia kukolukza riti sanyan sanan tando no manuya riwi wat sa hawa hale wet san ma ti amorti begaki kwe tiratani na kutaro se ferata prashi ku ci pushandi saten no mantar na musuara ci wi wasara ta pensare che monti amana patiana na kutaro prashi fi asape inku kukule kinku kukule mahana na kukikuani kakela koya kola wala monti alla kola miana ripuesi massa tua faharto mia ultima in tu cor doing some focus work here and some programs associated with the sacral area. Good. Confirm. Confirm. Move on. All right, awesome. We're going to do the grounding code. Boom. Kusamburyasari nyasa. You're all set. You have to let me know how you're feeling when you're back to planet Earth. No rush. Be sure to drink some water. Yeah, and if you can get some grounding to nature after, it's super helpful. I'm This is Hi Korea. Thank you, Nicole. Hey Moon, how are ya? Chills a lot. Awesome. I'm sorry, White Butterfly. It is full. I'm sorry. I'm gonna be on more, I promise, and I'm gonna be setting up more scheduled ones. It's been a while since it took me a while to settle into where I'm at. I just like Spirit was not letting me do lives or doing a lot of things, so I just trust that process. Hi Triana, Tiara, good to see you, sis. Yari Samutana. You're so welcome, Tali. Felt it all awesome, Heather. You're most welcome. I'm Ichi. I'm Itchy. Say I'm Itchy or Ichi? I love Ichi. The band, the artist ICHI. It's like electro. It's got like electro shaman stuff. It's pretty dope. Oh, thank you, Melissa. Yes, and thank you, Wits. Oh, thank you, Lisa. Yeah, we all go through waves of experiencing things, right? Couldn't do a live because of your head and energy. Oh no. Yeah, the energy's been crazy. I mean, it's whether or not you're adjusting to things, it's just been crazy at a collective level for sure. And I've been doing a lot at a individual level as well. Oh yeah, Ichi ni san shigo roku shichi hachiku chu. I don't know. I remember that from martial arts when I was a kid. Oh yeah. Persian in the cellar. Oh yeah, man, it's been crazy. Oh, thank you, Divinely Chosen. All right. So just as a reminder, up next is going to be Melissa, then it's Amanda, and then Karen. That's right. That's right, Elena. Can't seem to dock emotionally. I'm just sailing and the waters are rough, but trusting the process. Hey, that's we made it. That's what we got to do. You know, it's not about controlling the way we think that our reality should be. I'm talking to myself here. Like we're just like, but shouldn't we be doing this? And sometimes it's like, no. And we're so used to being programmed to think, okay, well, during this time of day, we have to be doing this and this much at this time, you know. We've got all these structures that we're a part of that we got to break down the structures towards, Thank you, Jenny. Ruta, good to see you, D. McMahon from Ireland. I have a lot of Irish friends. Well, for a while, like I lived in a part of San Diego that had a lot of Irish like vacationers. So like in the summer, all the Irish kids would come to my area where I lived in San Diego, and they would always rent to like vacation houses because my house was like right in the middle of vacation houses, so on the beach was so dope. Little shack. It wasn't one of these are all big rich places, but my little surf shack, it was really cool. But they would come and just be like, they would work at like SeaWorld and do, you know, they would just go and party the whole area. They would just take over the whole area. So I made so many Irish friends, and they were so much fun. So much fun. Stocious. I'm gonna get stocious. It was funny because they would make fun of me. Like I would end up picking up on accent. Like end up saying so. I would start talking like them and talking to them like, you know, they have the inflections, and so we would tease each other. And they would, when they did me, they're like, "Hi, I'm Thai and I like football, and I am American and I like beer." It's like that sound like that. Yeah, I love it though. I'm surprised it wasn't like yeehaw. Proud to be an American, yeehaw. I love it. Give you a clatter. I love all their words and stuff too. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. They were a lot of fun. Man, they were a fun group. There's so many stories. Gosh, those were my partying days. There's one phase of many partying phases. That was a lot of fun. They were a lot of fun. Drank way more beer than any human being should drink, and crappy beer at that too. I don't even know how I did that. It was like water. It was like just like water. What am I doing? All right. So Melissa's up next, right? Just want to confirm, Melissa, you're still here? Oh, Escondido, right on. Yeah, I lived over Mission Beach, like on the border of Mission Beach and Pacific Beach. I loved it for quite a few years. BMW asked, when did you discover your gift of light linguistics? I remembered that it was a thing maybe in like 2017 or so, something like that. But it had been trying to come out for years. Essentially, it was trying to come through in 2010. I've got activated, a big activation in 2010 that messed me up and messed up my nervous system, like blew out my nervous system. And but I didn't really know. So that's when I got into meditation. I started getting into spiritual stuff, but I would leave it. I would like get really into it, and then I would like fade out of it because I didn't see anybody else being into it or what. I don't know. It just fade out. And then I had another huge activation in 2015 that left me like crazy. Like it's crazy. And anyway, that that was another phase. And then again in 2017, it's just been shorter and shorter windows of cycles, so the cycles are really short. So now I go through these things really quickly, but for a while it was a little intense. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's right. You did say you're here. Of course you're here. Sorry, my bad. And thank you, moderators. How long did it take you to develop? It was instant, honestly, but it took me time to understand it. And I continue to heal and activate and integrate aspects of self and upgrade myself and bring through aspects that have different. So I haven't shared a quarter of what some of my stuff is like. Oftentimes because it doesn't come through on its own, but some of it's not ready to be quite anchored. Some of the seals that I've expressed, like some of the mudra stuff, like I can't, like I wish I could do it all the time, but like these finger locks that are like fast, like I do it, but like super finger locked, like it's crazy. I don't know how to do it. It only comes through when it's ready to come through, but there's so many different expressions. So those are what right now I'm trying to get myself out of these ruts of kind of staying in these safe lanes, because there's subconscious fears of being more and being even weirder than I already am and being like less relatable, and like people are not really gonna like, this is just way crazy, you know? So those are just limiting programs that I have that I'm working through. So there's so much more though. So it's really just about when it feels right to come out or when I express it, you know. So there's plenty more. There's so much more back there. All right. All right, we're going to switch it over. Yeah, the list closed. I'm sorry, Emily. No, I don't do personal readings. I'm sorry, Paulinda. And if somebody is reaching out to you, I don't do readings for one, and I also don't reach out to offer my services to people. If I do reach out to you to offer a service, it's always going to be free. 100% of the time, it's going to be free. But I don't even do readings. That's not my wheelhouse. I let that be people who are good at it thing. I get data, and I get enough data for me to do what I do, but I just perceive pure frequency. So I have a hard time translating it into human terms without having too much attachment to what that means. And I don't like to have those type of filters affect the information that I'm expressing, because otherwise it doesn't feel like truth. It may resonate massively, but on my end, it doesn't feel like it's fully true because it's only one perspective, and I choose not to express that too much. So I will give like the pure frequency of what the energy is, and not necessarily the costumes that the energies wear, if that makes sense. So reading's not my thing. I leave that to people who are good at that. All right. So we're going to switch it over to subscriber only while we do the transmission for Melissa. So if you're interested in continuing conversation, asking any questions, of course, I'm going to be doing my transmission. So, don't even worry about it, but people in the chat may be able to assist. And it's a great way to have an energy exchange as well. So it's, Everything runs on an energy exchange, and there's plenty of ways to exchange energy. It doesn't have to be through subscribing. It doesn't have to be through gifting. It could be tapping the screen. It could be sharing it out. It could be leaving feedback about, like, honest feedback about what you received, those type of ideas. Those are all ways to exchange, to be part of this co-creative process, because that's how it works. That's how everything works. And the more you put in, literally, the more that you get back. So we're not worried about it on our end whatsoever, but if you do, there's always reward. What put out, we get back as well. So just keep that in mind. All right, so I'm gonna switch it over subscriber only. Everybody's open to receive, though, if they're open to receive. Gosh, I'm so like timid about hitting the button now, just because it's done that so many times. All right, all right, Melissa. So we're just going to reaffirm, like always, that, in this transmission and following, no harm will be done. No energy will be taken that is not freely given out of love. It'll be in alignment for the highest good of all only. And only those that are open to receive will receive, and only what's meant for them. We're just going to reaffirm that connection to Mother Earth's heart. So I'm connecting to that magnetics. We get power energy from the planets. Bring that up into my heart space, which will flow the whole session. And I'm going to connect with what people may identify as our spiritual sun, the dog star of Sirius. It's going to flow down through the crown and into the heart. So we continue to flow. So I got the electromagnetics going. These are just one way of doing these things. This is to help activate this code that I'm going to put in the back of the heart. Reject the magenta frequency from my heart into the back of the heart, into this code. It helps with those confidence, motivation type energies, as well as healing. We're going to release those clearing pyramids. Plug in the healing frequencies. I'm going to do a big figure 8. Run that for a bit. We're going to work with the column of light. And then we're going to do the gifting of the Lemurian healing. Place this in the heart so you can guide that healing towards whatever intention you like. Otherwise, it's just going to go where it's needed most. And we're good to go. All right, so just relax, feel your body, observe. I recommend not to even, don't watch me. Don't watch me. Like, close your eyes. If you're visual, please close your eyes, because people see visions and see all sorts of stuff. So be part of your experience. Like, feel what you feel. Tune in the ways that you tune in. Dimwa, sukua, nimwa, sukua, nimwa kuana, tomia, toiwa, imoniana, denumani, iwe denumana. Rinini mundanu karo, riwi wanu mawe fwa wakulu tu, rimuni ne mari ne mia ukuro ne mana ni kura ne mana utue mari koemwa uma yema kwerti siato ritu kaskua kan pa pepa pimpunti ma pa peri pi pa ritu ma pa tipu ripu pa Kipro pamburi papa, Kipro sifiati pasandire tusta. Skipari parimpi, Chico Yakumia, Suti Bersegansi, Sea Senti Borsiatu, Asa Rishi, Sue Simbor, Sukuku, Tiansaraki, Mahatura Mahati, Skiharia, Rotoparatu Marianani. Sure, Uswasiama Hatori Pishia Swatati Untor Tiberis, Weju. Jiwichu asando tapasio kurakakati ya prosifere simba di parsovari untu. Sroshimasa. Ursomarti sipia. Tau kemu tamburua ruye pra kemar ini santo itu. Sambhuti was rimuta vartu manumene. Okay. Confirm. All right, so we're going to do the grounding code real quick. Okay. All right. So you'll have to let us know how you're feeling once you come back to planet Earth. No rush. Be sure to drink some water. Definitely, if you've been hanging out, definitely drink some water. You're most welcome, Melissa. So hopefully, I would love to hear feedback over time, Melissa. I know you mentioned that you were going to try to book a session. I would love to hear how this found you, especially over time. We did a lot there. There's a lot of shifting that took place. There's a lot of heavy lifting. So just remember that you had this transmission over the next days and weeks. Sometimes what can happen is that some stuff that's been held down for years or even lifetimes can rise up to the surface to be released. Not saying that it will, but just keep that in mind. Anybody that's receiving today. So that might look like being a little more emotional for no good reason or whatever, or being easily triggered, these type of ideas. But what's worse, it's not, that stuff isn't so bad. It's just that the human of us tries to place ideas onto that like we'll go down rabbit holes that we don't need to go down, unless we remember, oh wait, we had that transmission. I went on that live with Ty, and so this could be stuff coming up to be released, and we don't have that attachment to it. Hi, Serene. Haria, Sian, good to see you. Yeah, you released one. I did. Awesome. Hi, Jessica. Well, welcome. Happy to have you. Hooded Angel asked, can you explain? I'm interested. Yeah. Dog's going crazy. You hear what's up. So, so I use it. So my name's Ty. I could be considered a quantum architect if there was a label that worked best. Probably it would. It's pretty accurate. I mean, I don't like label. There's plenty that we do, but one of the main things that I do is specialize in working with energetic structures. So I'm a form of an energy worker, a healer, if you want, that specializes in energetic structures like the physical body and other systems. We have many bodies. We have different structures around everything that are energetic. And I use a tool called light language or light linguistics to affect those energetic structures, essentially quantum coding in a way, not quantum coding like computer coding, but similar. And so we affect things at a template level that then translate into the physical experience. So we use that tool to assist with healing, essentially healing, removing the crap that we're not so that we can be who we truly are. And also activations, which is helping people to remember these things for themselves. To be able to do similar to what I do in their own way. It gets activated. It's not something you have to learn to do. It just comes out and you're like, holy, what the, and then you learn to understand it. And then also upgrade. So a lot of the people that are drawn to this work are already healers or, psychics, or tarot readers, whatever. They're already aware of their spiritual aspects. And so there's always more bells and whistles we can add to our gifts and what we already are expressing. So that's something I specialize in as well. I hope that made sense. There's so many different ways that I can explain what's going on, and so if that didn't make sense, I'm happy to explain it in a different way. All right. And then so up next is going to be Amanda. I think she's still here, right? Amanda, and then it'll be Karen. Amanda and Karen. I was worried you got tired of going live. No, yeah, sorry. Yeah, I just moved, and I've been going through my own initiation and healing process. So it's just, I haven't been, I'm not much good if I'm not feeling good, right? So it doesn't help anybody if I'm on here and I can't talk, I can't articulate stuff, or especially not doing energy work, because that's not good for anybody. So I just had to wait for the right timing to jump on, and so it's starting now. I went live a little bit last night, and then today. Oh, thank you, Serene. Yasura, yes, that's all you. Just stimulating that healing, that healer that you already are in yourself. Yeah, it's fun. I love to work on physical stuff too. Apparently not a ton of light linguists, coders focus on physical healing as much. It's a passion of mine because I've experienced physical pain. Like I know chronic pain very well. I know how debilitating it can be. So I have a passion of working with people who have physical stuff going on, because that's the last stop. We work on an energetic level, but the physical, once it comes down into the physical, that's when it's like red alert. There's something that we've not dealt with for so long that it's expressing itself into the physical. So we can work at an energetic level to affect these things in the physical, and you can do some really cool things. There's so many different tools though too. I use more than just this stuff, especially when I'm in person too. So there's a lot of different tools and techniques. It's just, this is the most obviously flashy, the most obvious, you can't hide looking. So that's what people always ask about, but there's so many other ways to do stuff. I've got so many different techniques. That's why I'm going to start doing classes soon, just to teach people. I don't even say. I got to fix that. I got emotions to the idea of teaching or something. So I want to help people remember, whatever, show people techniques that I've learned over time and that I use, and some of them that didn't work the best for me just because of the way that I interface, but would help others big time. You know what I mean? So other people, some techniques work great for me in some situations and not in others. And so I got tons of them. And I just want to share those just because I don't hear that people express them that often. There's just so many ways. It's like doing energy work and healing is like being a cook. It's like being a chef. There's not one right type of food, right? There's not one food that tastes that's the best food, right? It's a personal choice. Every one of us are going to have a different taste in what we're eating and at different times too. So, or like music, it's like music too. No music is better than other music. Some is, more widely recognized, but doesn't make it better. All right. How to get your help? You just shoot me a message. I have a link in my bio. If it doesn't work, there's my website. It's ty-el.com, and it should be in my bio. You can send me a message on TikTok. You can shoot me an email. I'm always happy to answer questions, and I'm always happy to assist. There's a lot of resources that I have. You don't have to get a one-on-one even to get assistance. There's so many, that's the thing, is that there's so many transmissions that are free that can be really, really helpful. I've had profound experiences with. These are really powerful in their own way. There's so many different things that you can receive. It's just about setting your intention, and I'm always happy to help guide you to whatever is going to help you most. That doesn't mean getting a session or anything, right? So if you have questions, please do ask questions, because it helps me and it helps others too. Awesome. Hood Angel. Appreciate it. Thank you, Angela. Hi. All right, I think I'm about ready to rock and roll. Gratitude right back, David. Can anyone do what you do, and is it something you have to earn? I think people do what I do in their own way. So there's many people who are very similar to what I do, but they do it with their own specialties, right? It's their own flavor of music. So it just varies, right? So yeah, there's nothing special about what I do. Not from my perspective. I may have remembered it a little bit earlier than some people, but it's nothing special. That's the whole point of why I do this, is to help activate people into whatever they do. Some people are really good at what they do. See, even our brother here, Elevate, in the comments, I believe, if I remember correctly, if I can see the picture, but I think he does telekinesis, right? Is that right, brother? I've done astral projection. I don't really practice it too much. The way that I interface is different. So I just interface different at this time. I've done it. I've had experiences doing it, but with me, there's a lot of reasons why I just currently don't. And I do it my own way. So I do it, but not through my conscious projection, not like how you would do it. I don't interface like you do, but I split myself off, kind of like Doctor Strange, in different dimensional spaces and work in different ways like that. But I don't translate it back through this, the 3D perspective, the way that some others do, right? So the lens of translation isn't quite there the same. But yeah, I've seen you do some stuff, brother. It's awesome. Yeah, you definitely do. You're a healer. Yeah, we're a healer if we choose to be. That's the thing. We can be, all of us are healers. We just got to choose to do it. And we all have gifts. It's just about being passionate about, stepping into those gifts. Right? Like you do, brother. You're passionate about assisting people and showing people that these things are real and legit. So that's a huge service, man. And I can feel you now. So yeah, man, we all have our own things, but just because I do this thing doesn't mean that someone else doesn't have their own thing. There's so many different ways of interfacing, and people have their own gifts. It's amazing. So don't look at my stuff and feel like, oh, I need to learn how to do that or whatever. No, you got gifts that are amazing. People can move stuff with their mind, and people can fly. There's so much. We all got superpowers. It's just about choosing what to express in this current identity. All right, Amanda. All right, so I'm going to switch it over to subscriber only chat while I do the transmission for our sister Amanda, but that doesn't mean that if you're here and open to receive, it's for everybody too. So there's going to be energetic spillover for all that are open to receive. And it's just a way to show support energetic exchange by subscribing, and is a way to help manage the energy of the space while we do the transmission, because clearly we get trolls and people that distract comments and whatnot. So just want to be present. So feel free to relax. I recommend to close your eyes, especially if you're visual, and then we'll get rocking and rolling. Right, Amanda. Working with you. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and reaffirm no harm will be done, no energy will be taken that is not freely given out of love. It'll be in alignment for the highest good of all only, and only those that are open to receive will receive, and only what's meant for them. So I'm going to connect again with that platinum frequency from Mother Earth's Merkaba, the bottom tetrahedron. Starting to get to the point where I can't speak English. I'm going to pull that frequency up through the rocks and the minerals, up through and into my heart space. It's going to continue to flow. I'm going to connect with Sirius, bring that down into my heart space. I'm going to place a code in the back of Amanda's heart here. Eject the frequency from my heart into her heart and into the code that helps with that confidence, motivation, willpower type light codes, and of course healing. We're going to release those clearing pyramids into the knees by splitting off another version of me. He's placing his hands on the knees and he's going to release those codes, those clearing pyramids, help transmute energy. We're going to plug in that thumb drive. With those healing frequencies, we're going to plug that into the crown. Initiate the figure 8. That's going to assist with integration and help accelerate the healing. We're going to work with your column of light, do a bit of healing on that. This works with our Lyran family. And then we're going to give you that Lemurian code for a healing towards whatever intention you choose. Place this in the heart space. It's going to rock and roll. And then we are good. Confirm. All right, here we go. Rita simurata sataku kuroki pa tandire dewa tu ta paharanini tu hari ti sirishi turia samana ritu tamuri ta tiari henutu ambur tanena tuera ti prosso si arriesa sa tu ambur ta pasiakana tu kuroki piari rininsa na turta ta safiar ta kana metiti no tu parta pasiando. And starting out with like everybody's throat. The neck and throat. Runuma sanatose. Kirushutia suraman surata brasike kuriyandama. Rinusana hure parta nenasuri timurine. Suriasa okamuriasada. I love that. It's time to express more of who we are. That's the idea. So we're all receiving expression upgrades. And expression is more than just communication, of course. Expressing who you are, what you are. It's deeply connected to the sacral, the creative side, right? Creative, expressive. As above, so below. Rimuea nanturi misartisi wedsa murte pasi kurota mirti cetu tuian san murti bakar kakau kruta rishi nirti sifiran muria rituti ana hatata ki wereti piesi frasi frati combarti pescifi sembuti passane do kutarto me matani ritu san cere plecardi assati tu cere tambura tumbara preturia mandere tuta ratu tassa sharhi simuri yemartani rinute a sacra kikura Ciputubianse per topassi fra cot hart che facciamo sarti si fianzo de proieturu. Ciuitu ardi se siambro se facana cara che depressi fra se con nimero to se con nimero to pace per nimero ti per te mezze per tu. Ritus si ancena tutta curti per scifi safra si fra che importi balansanti quarta tardisia ti tiri sardi sandor cishu a curuco quan branano demasia tu pa. Rituambo cara core. Sutahafahanu peti, guarda masanu, de wa farti si siemos. Runde fresi fiasro tu sangu calukrai nedi mani. Rituia sha tu te peanata uduki, sa di pasiana cui. Si wishwasata tahi mahardi meniko da nidori ma. Ritu chusa fati midsa numpara namani. Ritu itu arti fesi fasambo tamo teme meo madu. Riwisha nuisi amahatani makarakuki skeo haruta. Yana marjisio. Ertu hamoratis. And some focus work here with the third eye. Yeah. Agua. Yema. Kauri, toma isso. Good. Confirm. Move on. All right, we're going to do the grounding code real quick. All right. I recommend to drink some water if you got it. Set the comments back. Love to see how you're feeling, Amanda. When you're back. You're most welcome. Thank you. Rimusa naritia. Feeling good. Good. And of course, I know that you're aware of this, but especially when you do a lot of work like we do, keep in mind that what's going to come through for you might be a little bit different than some people as well. So keep in mind that those upgrades may be coming through, and we all, so there may be a different experience for you because we're different leveling ups. So just remember that over the next days and weeks. Just remember days and weeks. Got an upgrade, yeah. Just being guided to remind you. Blip lap. We refer to it as blibbity blue bop language. It's often referred to as light linguistics or light language. Light is information, light's data. So we call it light linguistics because the term language has a lot of baggage with it because we try to break it down. We need to understand it like we do other languages, right? And it's more than just vocalizations. So it's unstructured language that affects energetic structure. It's a transmission of data, of information. And we can use that data to affect the recipient in different ways. So I use it for healing for the most part, and then the idea of activations and upgrades. So I help people become more of who they are. Help people remember more of who they are. That's it. Using these tools. Hey Kai, what's up, brother? Good to see you. Good to see you. I love your duets, bro. I'm not a big fan. I'm not usually into duets, but you always get your duets are so funny. You're laughing on the duet. All right, we got one left. We got Karen. Last but not least. Just make sure I'm grounded here. I'm trying to get going here pretty soon. Present. Yeah, I totally see that, Kai. That's why I love it. It's because I can tell it's all about the energy, and that's why I deeply appreciate it. Love it. I love it. I'm just going to make sure I'm grounded here, and then we're going to jump right into it, Karen. All right, we're good to go. So just for anybody who may have just jumped in, what we're doing is personalized transmissions. So we're doing personally encoded transmissions for specific people in this chat here, in the group here. But there's energetic spillover for everyone. So it's kind of like writing and performing a healing song for one specific person in the room, but everybody in the room can hear the music, right? They can hear the healing music. They can choose to heal to it. So if you're open to receive for your highest good only, I recommend to stick around and just feel. Don't worry about watching me or trying to break down what I'm doing or anything like that. You're welcome to by any means, and I'm happy to answer any questions you have. But for the most part, it's best to be experienced, and it's just stimulating healing within you. It's stimulating you to have the experience of whatever it is that you're experiencing, because it's a very multidimensional tool, and everybody's going to receive differently, which is what makes it such a powerful tool. So I'm going to set the comments to subscriber only while I do this. This helps with the energy of the space a bit better. Keeps people less distracted and less trolls and such, which I'm always bummed out because I never get to see them because my eyes are going blah. But I love this comments. But my moderators do a good job. It also helps the moderators take a little weight off them. So if you're interested in continuing the conversation, asking any questions, that kind of idea, subscribing is the way to do that. And of course, that shows me love and it's an energy exchange. But there's plenty of other ways to do that as well. And there's other perks to being a subscriber too. So we'll take intentions from subscribers when we do group healings, and we put them in a little circle. It can be anything. You can, as a subscriber, you can set the intention for anything. It can be something super specific to you. And we put it in the circle, and then we use the pendulum to choose which ones we do. Sometimes those have been picked too. So just throwing that out there. So I'm going to set that to subscriber only, and we rock and roll. All right, so we're just going to reaffirm no harm will be done, no energy will be taken that is not freely given out of love. It'll be an alignment for the highest good of all. Only those that are open to receive will receive, and only what's meant for them. So just going to reaffirm that connection to Mother Earth, reaffirm to Sirius, place the code in the heart. Inject the magenta frequency from my heart into the heart and into this code that helps with those confidence, motivation, determination type frequencies and light codes. Release those clearing pyramids. Plug in those healing frequencies, a set of more than 16. Plug that into the crown. We're going to ask that to run for a couple hours. We're going to do the big infinity, the figure 8, to help accelerate healing and integration. We'll do a little bit of a healing on the column of light. Fire up the transmission centers. Then we're going to take out a golden sphere. We're going to place our code in it. We're going to place this in your heart, and that's that code where you can guide it towards a specific intention of healing, if you'd like. Otherwise, it's going to go where it's needed most. All right, here we go. Rock and roll. Just feel your body. Suri mantuya vahawaratu masia. Ri surya nasa moturtu samburi miakara kiekuri watlima. Riti amurta pasata. Paparu wingrekre. Inkere kranguri atakira kukukuira tipare sikanandure wata. Rikini karakata titi sisi arrise savorsu mutsuvarasi sender tukuti pareya. Tu chuya sia mushi sia shuya sia tushia sia portisia sia brota pasia sia tu pushia sia prisia husa sia husuria suea ria sia kursia sia we candide sia kurko kangulo sia mozania sia quarata sia kusia Prisia musha ti parati manautori watia kiuri tu si siembro se tua satata cui vorrei pansi do atta parati di curcia ti mare ti paschiare tu banato se vedete menti per passare che ti mare sapere che tu di voi si vede anzi per porti oro tu remani mare per sapere che ti mare così vedete per riputi a far da cascore che ne ti mare morto mi hanno ti manchi o qui te cui guarda mare su ti sciti amasata da iti weti ata risutiamos rituiara musara di masiara ricuria tarresi tu si mara da passare dove non sapere tu parto per sapere che ti passi india rituti mantene nera torre wakuru procurro camo renato procurro maranini coridana rituale le curato Some stuff to that right hip. Good. Confirm. Move on. All right, awesome. So we're going to take out 3 rainbow-colored star tetrahedrons with a code in each one. Place one on the crown, place one on the heart, place one on the root, explode the crown, explode. Assists in grounding, the higher density, Dorumbaraneyasui. Confirm. All right, Sinumar Yasa. You have to let me know how you're feeling when you come back to planet Earth there, Karen. And yeah, I would love to hear how everyone else is feeling. Be sure to drink some water. You're most welcome, Karen. It's our pleasure. But yeah, now I'm a little cooked. Suri pare. Yeah, so thank you to everyone that has donated tonight and that is gifted and hung out with us. It's deeply, deeply appreciated because everybody is a part of this container. So everybody that's here, it's not a Thai show. It's everybody here in the chat and their guides and everybody that's connected to our ancestors, different groups that we're connected with. They're all part of this process. So it's a huge honor to be part of it, be part of people's designs. You still projecting, Brandon? It's good to see you again. I think it's cute. Runsuna purati akato re sudurti sisimurati sandurqua. Retu samurti pasandur tu karu kembruyasa. Sibri simburi pasandur korean nimrati samburi pasa kuri musa nama. Sometimes the mirror is too close to your face. You just step back a little bit. Yimratu koroya. Ta karanita. But yeah, I love y'all. So does anybody have any like pressing questions before I jump off? Lots of yawning, tears, third eye visuals, beautiful. Yeah, our mods are great. It's just interesting, how people are really, humans are really interesting. Like, especially when they're hurt, or they don't think very much of themselves. They project that onto others. And it's just so glaringly obvious once you know how things function, right? Thank you, Karen. That, it's like, it just bums me out. Like, it's like, come on, man. Like, do you not see that you're cool yet? I do. I have some shungite in my bottle. Yep. Do you have any books on how to heal yourself physically? Yeah. I mean, I don't have personal, like, my books or anything yet, but Spirit's been asking me to write. But some books I like, I mean, it just depends on what you're attracted to. The really like fundamental stuff could be like something like Quantum Touch, which is really simple. You just bring your awareness into a certain area of your body until you start to feel the sensation. So you can bring it into your third eye, like to your right above here, until you start to feel like a pressure there. And then you move that sensation around your body. You just move it through areas of your body. You can do like figure eights. You can move it through and down and out. You can look up the microcosmic orbit meditation. That's really good for learning to move your energy. There's other like teachings. Like there's a great book. What is it called? I think it's Becoming Superhuman by Jerry Sargent. Something about I always forget things, but it's an awesome book. So it has a lot of different techniques. It's not really like a modality, but there's a ton of different techniques that are shared in there that are great, and a lot that I use. And I've been trained with them as well. What else? There's like Hands of Light as another way of coming at things. Really, it's all like healing is just really, like I mentioned it before, it's like cooking. Like there's not one recipe that's the best recipe, right? Like it's really about your taste, and each person is coming in with different understandings. The way that they interface with reality, it can be dramatically different. So following what you're inspired to follow, like just kind of what you're guided to look into these ideas and what kind of like pops up for you, I would follow that, because that's your higher self guiding you. Like that the synchronicity is guiding you towards what's going to be most effective for you. Because I could give you a whole bunch of data, but if you're not quite there yet for it to like lock in, it's going to go one ear and out the other, right? So I would say set the intention you want to learn to heal physically more, and then just take physical action towards that. So start Googling things, start look up videos, look on YouTube, on here, and then follow what feels right for you, what interests you, because what interests me may be dramatically different. But what I was interested in led me to more of who I am. And what you are interested in was going to lead you to more of who you are, not necessarily more of who I am, right? So, hi, Jules. All right, folks. Well, I love you. I'm going to get off. I love you so much. I appreciate you. I'm going to post these transmissions on YouTube as soon as I can, probably tomorrow, hopefully. Sometimes the recording has issues, so I hope it doesn't have any issues. Sometimes the sound's synced off, and sometimes I can fix it really easy, and sometimes I can't. So hopefully that it doesn't take place. And yeah, so if you had a transmission, you can go back and play the transmission. It can be actually beneficial. Or if you missed the whole thing, you can go back and receive as well. You can go to the beginning. We do a clearing there, and we also establish some energetic structures for people too. So shielding, grading, that kind of idea. So it can be beneficial to go back. So Tile Heals on YouTube. Check out the link in my bio. I do one-on-ones. I specialize in upgrades, really helping you be more of who you are. But of course, healing. I love to focus on healing, activations, helping to trigger things that you already got. And plenty more. And I also do kind of like coaching, mentor sessions. I don't like to call it that, but really it's like, if you want to talk about these things more, like you can ask any questions you want. I can teach you specific techniques. We can dive into whatever you want. So if you're interested in that, that's something that I offer. This is a lot of fun too. We always do we start with an activation as well to bring through and open up the channel to bring through what codes would be assisting you through that process. Because we're always exchanging codes as I speak. We're exchanging extra data. So Anyway, if you're interested in that, link in the bio. If the link in the bio doesn't work for whatever reason, ty-el, just like my name, ty-el.com, and that will send you there. Or shoot me a message. Just shoot me a message and be like, hey, I'm trying to get a session, or hey, I would like a transmission, or hey, whatever. Hit me up. You have a question, just hit me up. Ask the question. All right. I love y'all. Thank you to everybody who's gifted, all the subscribers. I love you so much. Those, my moderators, amazing. Those who donated, and received today. Thank you for putting in the work to be more of who you are. Literally change all of us as you change yourself. I think that's it. All right. I love you. Pasina ratukari.